Wow, what? All right, take two. This is automatically trashed.
Brilliant.
Get rid of the entire podcast right here, right now. I am one of your hosts, Judson Clark, and joining me today is the one, the only, really cool guy, Taj Allen.
Hello there.
Wow, give him a hand. And then I also got Stephanie joining us today for the first time as well.
Ooh, first time guest. We love it.
And then we have one and only Jake French.
It is I.
It
is me.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh. I'm sorry, guys. It's been guys. Let me tell you, I'm gonna twist my little chair right here. It's been a long time.
Do the twist.
It's been a really long time since we've been in the studio.
He's just
And everything is falling apart immediately.
Literally.
Because it's been too long. We've been on Zoom. We've had a lot of hiccups and bumps and bruises and
Lots of playing on the PS Vita too.
Shut up. We don't talk about it. So there's been a lot going on, and we're back. We're finally back in the studio. I'll have you guys know that one of our guests, Jake French, has been on the podcast before.
Oh.
However,
a regular.
Oh yeah.
an absolute regular.
Yes,
However, we tried every chance we could for how many weeks? I don't know. It felt like it's been weeks. It's been a while since we were trying to get everything together. Me, Jake, and Dean to record our Behold episode.
Oh, like trying to get it in person.
Yeah, try to get it in person, try to meet up and stuff, and it just didn't work out. And then we ended up inevitably doing it on Zoom. So I feel like we're fulfilling someone's dream by bringing Jake on here today. Sorry, Dean, I miss you.
I'm not sure whose dream that is, but whoever it is, consider it granted.
And another one of the little mess-ups today is that, well, not today, but like we're fixing today. All right, we're coming full catharsis, full circle here. Me and Taj have recorded a full-length episode.
Well, recorded is an interesting word.
Well, yeah, right. Well, we did because we
Visually.
record our audio and video separately, and we recorded the video. So if you want an hour long of
Can we do bad lip reading? Can we do an episode of bad lip reading?
that would actually be a more interesting episode than what we had to say, you know. But anyways, this is the Sweet Tea Shakespeare podcast where we get to talk about everything Willie, everything sweet in the world, and all your favorite teas that could possibly be out there. Don't ask any further questions. This is a little different today because we're not talking about a specific show that we're about to put on. We're just here to chat about our community and talk about some great things and have some great friends nearby. And I want to start this episode off by angering every single one of them. What I've prepared today is a set of questions for some hot takes to open. It's like your typical icebreaker stuff, but it's like slightly skewed to the fact that it might just work. It might just be specific enough to draw conversation stories from, and most importantly, to anger people, because that is what I'm here to do. I'm like
Sweet Tea Shakespeare, like making people angry. Sorry, Jeremy.
I am the catalyst of chaos, and I will die by that. So
Love that.
I'm gonna I'm gonna start the first question, and while you guys are answering, I will be grabbing my coffee because I desperately need it. First of all, the easy one, the kind of one we're expecting. I'm gonna start with the little round table. Whoever wants to, I'll start with Taj. We'll go around down the line of how we feel about pineapple on pizza. Taj, what do you think?
Hell no. And stop calling it Hawaiian pizza. My brother-in-law's Hawaiian. He don't like that shit. It's rude. That's my take.
I think that this is overused as a hot take, but I think it's fine. I'll eat it, but I'm not super passionate about it either way.
It makes total culinary sense. Salty, sweet, fat, acid. It's all right there. If you don't like it, it's because you don't have a sense of taste. But that's okay, Taj. I understand.
This is true.
Yep. I'm just sick of people not giving it a chance. All right. Now, say what you want. If some people don't like it. Some people don't like it. So that's okay. That's not for you. Cool. Whatever. But the fact that it's like
Hold on a minute. You're the one who said no wiffle waffing. It depends one way or the other. And the first thing you're saying, is people like what they like, which is true. It is true. People like what they like. You don't have to like it. But that sounds a lot like wiffle waffing, sir. So what is yours?
No sevens.
On pineapple on pizza?
I'll show you some wiffle waffing, all right. And yes, pineapple does belong on pizza. Don't call it Hawaiian because that is an outrageous lie. as Tosh said. But yes, pineapple does belong on pizza. All pizzas? No. But it's there. It's there. It's a thing, and it should stay.
Hashtag not all pizzas.
Hashtag not all pizzas.
Indeed.
There he goes. We
That
lost
was a
him
brick
already.
oven hot take.
I'm gonna. My next question is the best drink and snack combo, and I want you to be super specific with this. Like, I mean, maybe not like on a Tuesday morning I'm drinking my little coffee and this and that. You know what I mean? But like, it's not like, oh, I'd like a pop with this, right? I want a specific kind of
Where are you from?
Not here.
That's
No,
okay.
seriously, where are you from? I'm from outside of Cleveland, Ohio, and I haven't heard that in 19 years since I've been there. So are you Midwest?
I'll tell you. Let me tell you a little secret. I think about that while I tell you this.
Chameleon.
I was born here, North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina. Unfortunately, here in this studio, and
Mom was doing a podcast.
and so in middle school, I was trying so hard to be different. I know, shocker, and I went to Ohio to visit some family over there, little Cincinnati, right?
It tracks. Yep.
It tracks, and I'm pretty sure they said soda too, right? But then I came back and I acted all big and bad. Oh, I went to Ohio or something like that. And then I heard something like a week later saying that, oh, the people from the north. All I needed was in middle school was saying, oh, people from the north say pop, people from the south say soda. And then that's all I needed. I was like, okay, I say pop now. And then it just stuck. Over the years, it just stuck. So now I can't
It is
help it.
regionalism. Like Cincinnati is probably a bit far south, but Northern Ohio, it's pop or soda pop.
Yeah, but
The thing that bothers me is when people call everything Coke.
yeah, no,
Ooh.
that's
Isn't
not
that like the
that's not
Midwest
true.
or something like that? Yeah, that is
Some people say
just.
that in Arkansas.
Yeah, it's just an awful thing.
Yeah, so I want you guys to tell me like
Snack
if it is like a pop, if it is like a pop, like specify what it is. And remember, like Jake said, not everything is Coke. Like we don't do that here. All right.
No, I got one. I
All right,
had
go
this
for
for
it.
breakfast. I really like either a peanut butter sandwich or just crackers with peanut butter and then chocolate milk.
Ah, I think that. That's not
It's
bad.
simple, but it's good.
I could never have it, but
Oh,
that
shit.
seems like it makes sense.
Guys, you should try it. Rank it.
Then come do a podcast.
It's like Stephanie was sitting on that because right before we started recording,
I literally forgot that he had
right
a
before
peanut
we started
allergy.
recording, we were I don't know. We were having some banter that should have been recorded. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I'll never tell. I'm not a magician, never tells.
Love it.
And Taj admittedly openly says we had a whole conversation about his peanut allergy. And then we started recording. The first thing Stephanie says, I got one. Let me go first. Let me in, chief. Get me off the bench. And the first thing she has to drop on us is what will inevitably kill Taj. So I just find that astounding and telling of character.
You can bring rabbits in. That's what I'm allergic to.
Oh, goodness.
All right.
Rabbits. Very interesting.
Best snack and drink combo. This is something that will never get old. Something that you can like, and it remains its taste and flavor, even with COVID.
All right. So you said the word old, so I'm going to chime in right now.
Oh,
Nice.
Because this is going to make me sound really old, and that's okay. But like, I'm not the combo thing is weird. I'm not a big snack person anyway. So if you ask me to choose a favorite, I'm going to default to anything salty over anything sweet. So like if I had to pick a favorite snack, I'm going with Cheez-Its, but like the extra toasty ones.
Oh, okay.
Extra toasty Cheez-Its.
Those are classy. I like that.
yeah, Cheez-Its are very like outdated. They're so
But when
old.
when I'm eating something salty, crunchy, all I want is cold water. I want water.
Okay.
Very
Never
interesting.
before heard.
I know.
Just water.
Cold. Only 90s kids remembers Cheez-Its and cold water. I tell you.
Cheez-Its and water. That's right.
Back in my day, before you kids had the Mop Pads and the Fortnites, we had Cheez-Its and cold water. I
That's
tell you
right.
what.
Extra toasty
Sorry, what I
Cheez-Its.
meant was Mountain Dew Code Lavender Zero Loco.
Not
That's
cold
my favorite
lavender.
drink.
Taj, what you got for me? What you
Um,
snacking on?
So it's not really one that blends well because I, off the top of my head, couldn't come up with a great combination,
So
if you will. But one that
that's
is
not good. He's
a go-to for me because I am someone that frequents the movies is ices and popcorn. More specifically, since we want to get specific, I like. Well, typically I mix the ices. It really depends on the theater that we're going to. But the typical generic flavors they have is Coke, cherry, and blue raspberry. So I always mix blue raspberry and cherry all the time. And then like if they have like a fun flavor, then either the blue or the red will be substituted out depending on what Tracy wants as well.
I'm gonna stop you right there. When you say mix, are you like the kind of layer mix?
Yeah,
or like
I'm
do you
not the bullshit where if they're behind the counter and you're like, oh, I want both, and so they're like, have cherry and then have Coke, and it's like that's not what the hell I wanted. I want you to go back and forth, but I understand it's a lot to ask. So like when I do it myself, I'm going back and forth. It's not the
Can't you just mix it, though?
half and half. That's just not how
As
it
someone
works.
who I've never had an ice at a movie theater, but what you're it sounds like what you're saying is for best for you doesn't necessarily mean the flavor combination, but like the nostalgia of the of the experience. So like that's you like the experience of the theater, so therefore it's the best combination.
Yeah. That is a fair point. Yes, indeed. Yeah, because like I said, off the top of my, as soon as we'll leave, I'll be like, damn, should have said that. But that's what came to my mind.
I have another weird one from when I was a child. I would dip
peanut brittle.
Hilarious. That's very funny.
I would dip my bacon strips in milk because I thought they were too dry.
What the?
What
Now
kind of bacon
that-
are you having? Wait, are we talking about like
I was like 6 years old.
That sounds like something that 6-year-old would do for sure.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. Like, I
How's
have
the
a
bacon
lot of
cooked?
questions.
How's the bacon
Yeah,
cooked? We'll start
right.
with that.
Start with
Are we
that.
talking crispy? We're talking a little fatty, somewhere in the middle.
It just depended on the day. I don't know.
Oh, there we go. The old,
As-
what were we talking about?
that's
The old
right.
wiffle. That's a
And that
wiffle
word
waffle if
depends
I've ever heard
Okay,
one.
I say either way, they were going in the milk.
Period. I love it. Bacon
As-
And
milk.
I can't explain why I did that.
That is
As an
insane.
Ohioan, I am well accustomed to strange food combinations that are taught as normal.
Mm-hmm.
And that other
Right.
No
people
one thought this was
think
normal.
is strange. Fair point. I take it all back. No, but like, so like cheddar cheese on apple pie.
that just sounds American.
So that's like
Odd, but American.
I don't know if that's. I think it's like
Sounds like a rough
Pennsylvania
time in the
Dutch,
bathroom.
like Amish thing. I think.
Yeah, it's like
I
that
think.
guy.
Maybe not.
Something like that.
But also like our family used to put like, sorry Taj, again, peanut butter on cheese. Cheese and peanut butter.
Yeah, but-
Cheese
Really
and
good. Carrots
peanut
and peanut butter was a big thing. I like carrots and peanut butter.
That makes sense.
And my wife just thinks all this stuff is super strange. But she's from Portland, Oregon, so
Ooh.
you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, hot take.
Oh.
Strange. It's
I will say, Taj, I need you to
And I
mute
love
your
you,
mic.
Portland. I
Keep
love
quiet
you.
for a second because this doesn't pertain to you. Because peanut butter is a very strange concept to me and something I've learned over the years. Like I've always loved Reese's.
just
right?
peanut butter or nut butter in general. You heard me.
I did hear you. Unfortunately,
Just gonna
I
leave
think
that alone.
no, peanut butter because there was nothing wrong with it growing up. There was peanut butter jelly sandwiches, peanut butter toast, and Reese's. Right, those are all fantastic. I've loved them. I've never had a question. But somehow, in some reason, when I think of like going out to get something peanut butter and chocolate flavored, I love Reese's. But I still am like, but peanut butter on that? And for some reason, my brain keeps, put your little thumb down. All right.
I've had peanut butter. I just don't eat the shit because I'm allergic. But I know what it is and what it tastes like. So
Yeah.
it's not like this
And
just
it's like-
this
Taj,
wild
Peanut butter
concept.
is when you take peanuts.
When peanut and butter love each other very much.
That's right.
But and they become a paste. But like, so
butter,
I don't
I
know. I
hardly
think
know
it
it.
might be more of a texture thing because it is an interesting texture where it's like I have nothing against the flavor, and if I try something with peanut butter in it, it'll be good. I just don't seek it out. Like I love the taste of peanut butter.
It seems you.
Yeah, you know.
Are you a crunchy or smooth kind of guy? See, I know peanut butter.
I
I know peanut
he
butter.
wants to be
crunchy, smooth,
involved
crunchy,
so
smooth.
bad. I'm a smooth guy because I was raised on it, but that's like the default. But I'm not against crunchy. Like I'm not weird
There
about
it is.
You know what I mean?
Wiffle-Waffen again. Can't give him
Wiffle-Waffen. I told you. I knew it was
Mr.
gonna
Wiffle
happen.
Waff.
dance.
Change your
That's
name on
why
my
I-
phone. Wiffle Waff man.
That's the correct answer.
That's why I had to start with default smooth. Going back to the movies. First of all, explain yourself about never having an icy in a movie theater.
Yeah,
We
what
need to
the
go back.
shiza?
Don't
Well, you
don't
see-
sidestep.
I've been to movies a lot, but I've never bought or had an icy while there. So that's why I've never had an icy.
Are you just one of those people that's
I've had like slush puppies or other branded drinks at things like summer camp. I would limit, as a matter of fact, I would say my experience with that kind of drink, I've only ever had while at summer camp. So like I've never bought a giant 1 gallon ice drink from like 7-Eleven. I've never gotten one at the movie theater. I find them too sweet. It's going back to the sweet. Like I'm a savory versus sweet person. Yeah. Most of the time, I would rather not have something sweet if there's something savory as an option next to it. So, not that I want a savory icy. That sounds disgusting.
What's a savory drink?
But
pickled icy.
But an icy is just too. It's just too much.
I also feel like I do love ices. All right, let's not discount that. I feel like it's like a half-baked thing. You start it off. When you start an icy and you start going in, that thing is delicious. That thing is fantastic, and it's a great time. When you get like halfway, maybe 75% there, and then it starts becoming like all ice, and then you gotta like mix it up or like crinkle the cup or do some way to fix it all up. It's too much effort. All right,
I agree with that. It becomes too much of a workout once you get like halfway through and you have to move the straw every sip.
Yeah.
An icy is just a vehicle for the sugar syrup. It's just
that's right.
Sugar syrup.
That's right.
You just
we need a better vehicle.
Bottom. There you go.
Exactly. It's my same beef with snow cones because it's like but it's the reverse because you top it off with this bullshit ice, and then it's like, oh, I get to drink straight up syrup.
Taj
Fun
is
time.
having
But
a
what we're
visceral
not gonna
reaction.
motherfucking do is that we're not going to put them in the same category because there is an entire difference. I concur with everything y'all said about the whole fucking too much work thing because it is. I just love them so much that I don't care.
Yeah,
but
sometimes you gotta
absolutely
put in the work.
valid. Such a valid point. All the movement and all that whatnot. But what I will not do is allow this podcast to finish and not point out the fact that ices and snow cones and slush puppies over here are all different things and they need to be in different categories. And like you like what you like, so I agree with that.
Sure.
But ices is king. So like you like what you like,
give you that, yeah.
Why
but
are
you
they
can like
different, though?
lesser things.
This is like okay. So for me, this is like a hot take. We're getting there. Okay,
We're getting there.
right.
We made it.
I'm gonna go with, and I say this as a lover and appreciation of Mexican food, right?
Okay.
But like a lot of, I'll say, Americanized Mexican food.
Are you talking about one in particular? Because I feel like I know
I
where
just
this is going.
maybe, but like any of those, even chain, I'll call them Mexican restaurants, but they're definitely Americanized Mexican restaurants. Same ingredients in different shapes, right? Like I want this. You're getting this. It's the same. Dish A is the same as dish B, except it's a circle instead of a square. Like it's the same list of things assembled in a different manner, right? But it is the same family of food. It is the same. And for me, icy, slushy, snow cone, same thing, same ingredients, literally the same ingredients,
Ice and
literally the same ingredients. So I don't agree with you
it's
with
ice
they're
and
different. I don't
snow.
know how they're different.
So they're different for one because of the consistency in which the beverage or the treat, if you will, is. It's the consistency and the fineness of said ice. So like slush puppies typically are like a lot thicker as far as like the ice itself, whereas ices are the most fine. And like depending on the snow cone where you go, Tracy's not here, so she cannot back me up on this, but like snow cones in like Hawaii are like very, very soft, kind of like fucking Italian ice. That stuff is really soft, whereas a slush puppy is really, really thick.
grainy.
Yeah, really, really grainy and stuff like that. Same thing with an icy, which is why like once you get through all the syrup, like you said, or whatever, it clumps up and stuff like that. But prior to that, it's really smooth to drink through the straw, whereas a slush puppy, it is not. You feel it's like drinking a fucking a limeade from Sonic with strawberries, and you get the pieces of fucking strawberries, but instead of strawberries, it's just ice. And so like
this is
that
just
would be the difference.
This is just my ignorance of icy drinks.
Oh, and also
having
carbonation.
only ever had the one at a summer camp. So.
It's okay to admit you're ignorant.
Yeah, but yeah, and like because also
You do have
it
to,
is
you know,
in
the only way to move
ices.
forward is to overcome.
In ices, there's always carbonation, whereas in slush puppies, there is no carbonation, and so like that's also
There's
the difference.
carbonation in ices?
Yeah, ices are carbonated, and so like slush
actually
puppies
didn't know
aren't.
that.
Yeah, slush puppies aren't. So like, which is why like it's always not always, but like a lot of them are soda flavors. So like you have Coke and Pepsi and Mountain Dew and things like that, because and like even the blue raspberry and the cherry
These are
flavors
sounding worse.
typically.
Every time.
the blue raspberry and cherry flavors, and like most of the flavored ones, like the fruit flavored ones, are typically Fanta, which is also a soda. And so like they're all soda flavors and they're all carbonated. Whereas like I said, Slush Puppy is like, it's blue raspberry, it's cherry or whatever. But like it is just those with no sort of carbonation behind it, which also makes such a big difference. Because yes, Papa John's and Domino's and Pizza Hut and Little Caesars all use the same shit because they're using pizza and dough and crust.
And they're all terrible.
Right. They're all terrible.
Okay.
Like, right. But they all do taste different despite them all being pizza and them all using, quote unquote, the same thing. Because that's why Papa John's says that bullshit about better ingredients, better pizza. It's nonsense because they're towards the bottom. But nonetheless, their pizza does taste different from Domino's, who tastes different from Pizza Hut, who tastes different from Little Caesars. And it's this same idea with ices and slushies and all that whatnot, except for those are actually different. Or the difference is a little bit different, is a little bit vaster than just the taste or the quality.
I hear you,
if you will.
I just don't know that it's won me over enough to care.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's got the
For
plethora.
sure.
He's got
And
the
when you said
plethora
Fanta,
of
I busted out
knowledge.
laughing because I went to college at Hiram College, which is down the road from Nelson Ledges, where the annual gathering of the Juggalos for the Insane Clown Posse is.
white.
So, yeah, speaking of white things,
Woo.
when you talk about Fanta, that's why I
Hatchet
start laughing.
Man.
Oh, dear goodness gracious. All right.
So
We've done the snack thing.
I want
Let's-
to. We done the little snacks. I'm gonna conclude. My answer is popcorn and a Coke with no ice.
Yeah,
All right?
yeah. Mhm. I brought that up
That's
the other day.
definitive. Yeah, because I cannot, and this is by habit, right? I'm trying to get off of pop, anyways. But when I go see a movie, which has been a hot minute.
Why, does he not like it anymore, or like?
No, I'm trying to like get off of it, right? Because I was.
Never mind. It's making it.
Love it.
God dang it, Jake! Enough!
You asked for me to be here.
God dang it!
Jesus,
I should have went with Dean. I should have went with Dean. So, yeah, and it's come to a point where, in the kind of point of the conversations, when you have one of the things, what makes you like your brain think it has to do something? It has to. You have to get this drink to pair with this snack. You know what I mean? Like, so when I'm having popcorn, and I'm like, God dang, I could really go for a Coke right now. Coke no ice at an AMC movie theater on a Thursday evening. You know what I mean? And oddly enough, and again, this is by habit, not by choice. Like this, it was by choice technically, but I also have like a plan B, which is, I'm gonna go with Stephanie here. She's not gonna be the lone one out. That's gonna like get her canceled or anything, because mine is mac and cheese and chocolate milk. That's my. It's not as powerful as Coke and
Wait, what does that have to do
I'll-
with me? Just 'cause I picked
I'll take the
chocolate milk?
bacon
No, 'cause you did the
and
bacon
milk
and the-
for 1,000. Because what the hell is going on?
Because you had the
over
one
there?
with bacon and milk,
Okay.
right? So I don't want I don't want you to be a lone wolf out here.
Can I-
Oh,
Can I
okay.
offer? So I'm gonna preface this hot take with my own version of Judson's waffle ahead of time. Asking me to be on a hot take episode is pretty funny because I don't know that I have that many. I'm a noted waffler.
Yeah.
But here's a hot take, maybe for those out there, that I think picking favorites of anything is a stupid idea.
Yeah.
So
Very
like
much that kind of person.
I don't. When you said like, what's your favorite snack and drink combination? What's the best? Like, for me, everything is contextual. So like, I don't have a favorite color. Like, I like a lot of different colors. I don't have a favorite band. It depends on what mood I'm in. I don't have a favorite movie. I've seen a lot that I like. I don't have
I'd
a
agree with
favorite
that.
snack. Like, what am I doing at the time? That's gonna, because popcorn, superior snack in a
Absolutely.
lot of different venues. But like, not if you're on a roller coaster.
That's for
Or
you.
maybe it is. What do
That's-
you want?
Is
Right?
there any snack that's
say
superior
that-
on a roller coaster?
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Just try it
Dumb.
out.
But like, yeah.
What about that
an
funnel
icy
cake? I heard that's
Taj,
good.
Duh. But like, so that's my hot take. Really, is that I think favorites are stupid. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't pick favorites.
I don't think they're stupid, but I do think they are limiting, and I don't see the need to pick favorites on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So next question.
That's probably the most consistent thing
That
about
was
Jake that
the-
I've known him over the years. Is that he is very much not a favorite.
What did he say? Nana's my favorite wife. Well, I've
Love
only
it.
got one, so I guess she defaults as my favorite too. But
yeah.
My
So
wife.
that was
Love that.
That was really poignant.
Tosh,
I
say
love
what
that.
you're gonna say. I'm interested in you completing your
Oh, yeah.
sentence. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
go
Oh
ahead.
no, I was just saying that is you were very consistent on that because we've had conversations in the past because like trying to narrow down like gift ideas or just like things in general and it's just like fuck, why can't he just shit? You're making it so much harder than it needs to be.
If there's one thing you know about Jake is he doesn't help us at all.
Which
Damn.
going and yeah. With that being said, Christmas time is a miserable time for me for that very reason, right? Because not only am I trying to make, with what limited budget I have, the best gifts that I can get everyone, I'm also like pretty sociable. So I'm like, God dang, I gotta drop $100 on this many people, which is like they deserve the world. And there are people that know this already, or not know that they deserve the world, but they know that you care and love for them. But Christmas time is so stressful because even no matter what they feel and what they say and what kind of relationship you have, I'm like, man, I need to give my high school classmates something too. We were left on good terms.
Felt
You know what I
that.
mean?
Felt
You know.
that. Yeah.
So what you guys were saying earlier about the picking favorites kind of being a moot point because it's all like subjective and contextual. Very true. Very real. I really agree with that. But let's talk about what's your favorite fast food.
Ha! I love that.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's tough.
Just
That's
like,
really tough.
son of a bitch, Jake just
I know
killed
Jake
every
just
topic
ended the
for
whole
the episode.
episode. He just ruined the whole thing. We were talking earlier about Bet's Pizza, and
Taco Bell.
I do have. What you said? Taco Bell.
I was just saying just to answer your question because I had it in the chat.
Taco Bell's the best.
Not the best, my favorite.
Your favorite.
I will not
That's
ever say it's
okay,
the best. But
that's
favorite.
that's fair. I'll accept that, but not a Taco Bell as an answer. That's not correct. Because first of all, you guys were saying you were talking about that Americanized Mexican food. Me and Taj gave you the little winky wink. You talking about Taco Bell, and I say, how dare you consider that fast food? And because I already get like weirded out saying that fast food is a restaurant. It doesn't feel like a restaurant, right? Because it's so quick, convenient, and borderline food, might I add, to looking like pretty patties from SpongeBob.
That's hilarious.
That
Not
Taco
pretty
Bell
patties.
doesn't even. Jake's giving me a look. Jake's giving me
Jake's
an
like,
absolutely. He is.
I know
very upset with me.
SpongeBob, specifically pretty patties.
They I was driving on 87 because that's the route to Maddie's, and they were sprouting up a building, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, what building would this be? This isn't a nice little spot. It could be anything. It sprouts up to be a brand spanking new Taco Bell, and it enraged me to no end. They do not deserve new buildings.
Oh, I
they
love
get the
it.
little Shake Shacks and the little rundown old buildings in the antique side of downtown. They don't deserve when you have food like of that tier and quality that with a base.
See, now we're getting into the discussion about favorites because that's how you feel, but clearly they're building them because there's enough people that are like, I need more of this.
Bingo! They flew a whole truck to Alaska just so that people could experience the greatness that is Taco Bell because there wasn't any out there. There was a whole commercial about it.
I think you say that just so they can experience the greatness. I think it's a little more that's the dollar side. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, clearly they're sprouting them up. I don't think they need the money in Alaska if they're sprouting them up everywhere else across the country.
Taco Bell enrages me.
There's one of those. They're one of those restaurants that spans from east to west coast for a reason. And not all fast food restaurants do that.
What's your order? What's your Taco Bell order?
My order? Typically I get the menu changes. I'm a picky eater, as most of my friends know. So I'm pretty much typically a plain Jane kind of guy. So I'm a meat and cheese kind of guy. I don't eat a lot of lettuce and tomatoes and sour cream, all that nonsense. Yeah. Never touch it.
No vegetables. If I'm going fast food.
Essentially, vegetables, fruits.
What would
not
kill me the
having it.
quickest?
Yeah. And so typically I'll go for what's called the beefy melt burrito with no sour cream, extra nacho cheese, and a pink lemonade, light ice. 2 of those, actually, by the way. And then if I'm feeling like a lard boy, 3, and then I'm like, I'll just save this one for later. Or for
but
tomorrow.
as a large boy myself, that never happens. And I don't. So for me, fast food is like a convenience thing. Jake can't pick a favorite, but really, I could really care. I only go there like if we're chaperoning a trip somewhere and the kids are like, for lunch we want to stop by Wendy's, then I'll grab something while we're there or whatever. So like I really don't have a preference. Truly, with fast food, I really don't have a preference. But like the I'm gonna save some for later thing. This is not necessarily fast food related because we have this problem. We cook a lot at home, so not everybody
As you
cooks.
should.
Not everybody has the capacity to. Not everybody likes it. I get that people eat out. We cook a lot. We do 98% of our cooking or our food is we're cooking in the
so
house,
good.
right?
Good for
And
you.
it's just the wife and I, and we're always like, we'll cook enough for this, we'll have leftovers tomorrow. But that don't happen. You make enough, and then you're like, I'll just have some more. And then you end up-
Really?
and then- yeah.
That's incredible. I highly admire that because I'm trying to cook myself, and I might have talked about this in a previous episode, but I'm trying to cook myself like just banging two pots together and see what comes out of it, you know. But I'm trying to portion everything because I'm either feeding me, Maddie, and the rest of the folks, or me, Maddie, and the rest of her folks, and so I've only cooked for just me and Maddie a few times, and that's probably like the cause of all this. But I'm like picking out the portion, picking out the meat. I usually end up with leftovers because you're always going to shop more than less, right? And
Less is more, Charmin.
right. And everybody, both parties, well, not both parties, but my side of the party is really bad at leftovers because they're on the side of like, well,
We've had that before.
exactly. We just had that last night. I'm feeling Subway.
Yeah.
Nobody feels.
And then they're like, well, it's the only sub shop that's 10 minutes from the house.
a
Like,
white
there's
person.
nothing else. We're in the booties.
I'm just going back to the convenience over quality thing.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
like, nobody's like, you know
That's
what
fair.
I'm dying for? I would kill a horse for Subway right now.
Eat fresh.
Just-
Hey, but I mean, Jake, I'm eating fresh. Jake, it says it in the slogan.
It kind of makes you feel like you're eating fast food but healthy.
No, it's like when you go to Subway. When I go to Subway,
I'd
all
like
right?
a piece of bread
Great
with
take.
one slice of cucumber on it, please. Can you,
Yeah.
that's what
Lord
you
Yeah.
have mercy.
When I
That's a
go
great
to Subway, I'm like, this is a step above from the garbage fast food that I'm used to, like the Wendy's and
It's also fair.
you know what I mean? But that's the thing. I go in there, I'm like, I'm making a good choice today, and then I'm on the toilet 10 minutes later. I'm like, that was a mistake.
I'm not trying to disparage
That's
it. I
funny.
have had Subway multiple times.
Yeah.
I don't even hate it.
Right.
But like, if the kids are stopping at they want to go to Burger King on a field trip. Sorry, this is the only time I get fast food is like when I'm chaperoning a field trip with my wife. But like, so they want to go to Burger King. If there's Subway, I'll probably go there because I don't need the greasy, even though I like it or whatever. But like, I'll probably go to Subway. But I don't think it's terrible. It's just let's be real.
Yeah, let's be
Right.
honest.
right.
None of it's good.
But you're making you choose what you make.
And
It's your own fault.
No, that's what I'm saying. At home, no, that's what I'm saying though. That's what I'm saying. All of the, if you teach yourself to cook, it is a skill. Teach yourself, right? You can teach yourself to cook or prep food at home. Anything you make at home is going to be better, in my opinion, than any of that fast food crap.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Jake also knows how to fucking cook, so that's why he feels that way. Because if you're someone that not really a great
Look,
culinary
okay, so
wizard,
this is a great segue. I don't want it. Sorry. You should finish because I'm about to segue into my first real issue of the day. Hot takes.
Oh no! Yeah. Well, before we kick Jake out of the studio, let me tell you today about who made this show possible. The Sweet Tea Shakespeare Podcast is the official podcast for all things Sweet Tea Shakespeare, which is made possible by a number of lovely people and organizations. We are supported by a grant from the Arts Council of Fayetteville, the NC Arts Council, and by contributions from the City of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, and other supporting partners. We would like to take a moment to thank our Patreon supporters of all levels. This is made possible by your generous contributions, and we humbly and most gratefully thank you. Want to join our lovely list of supporters? You can find us on patreon.com/sweetteashakes. That's patreon.com/sweetteashakes. The Illusion, The Little Princess, Shakespeare in Love, and Midsummer. And what if I told you that you can get all 4 of these shows with one package to sweeten the deal? That's right. The all 4 one package includes all 4 shows for $50 and $25 for students. Get first dibs at these most ambitious shows, probably in Sweet Tea Shakespeare history. That's not officially on the record, but I'll say it confidently. Don't wait for any of these shows to sell out. Grab them now with the all for one package. Join us for this deal, 4th in a lifetime. You know, I tried to do something with like the once, but change it to the 4. No, it's not clever. It's not funny. Join us at sweetteashakespeare.com/tickets. Hey guys, he didn't tell me to make this, but I'm going to make this anyway. Mr. Sweet Tea Shakespeare himself, Jeremy Fiebig, has this little thing of a book called Controlled Burn. It's described as part memoir, part DIY manual, and part call to arms to intentionally set your life on fire. Now, I'm always a fan of seeing people I know and love publish their book and get their art in the world, and I highly recommend you guys check this out. There's a paperback version, there's also a Kindle version, both available on Amazon.com. I'll share a link so you can check it out, get your pre-order, because this is dropping March 7th, and I want everybody to be able to have their own copy of their own intentional fires, because I'm excited about it. I love the smell of fire, so you know what I'm saying? I can't miss out on something like this. Here at Sweet Tea Shakespeare, we've had over the years many loving, supporting community members who have showed their generosity through donations, and we thank you most humbly, sincerely, gratefully. We love you, and we also love the ones who haven't been able to donate. We appreciate any and all of you guys. But with that being said, there's an incredibly anonymous matching donor who is matching gifts in the next 23 days up to $5,000. That is insane. So by all means, if you want to join their ranks of these recent donations who I'm going to be listing down here below, you can make it possible for us to do what we do best. And you can make a one-time or a recurring gift by any means necessary at sweetteashakespeare.com/give. Again, if you can't, if we totally understand, just your support and love is enough for us anytime. But if you're feeling kind enough to, please, by all means, sweetteashakespeare.com/give. Thank you, guys. And we are back. Thank you all who made the show possible. And Jake, right before we left, Jake was about to tell us something very important. So, Jake, you have the floor. You have the floor. It's all yours now.
This just sparked this thought that I had on the way over here, because Judson had prefaced this podcast. His brief was, we want stuff that's going to make people mad. I don't think this is going to make people mad. Maybe it will. I don't know. But it's related.
Someone will get mad.
It's related to the cooking thing,
that.
which you mentioned just a second ago, because I feel like many skills are a reflection of the effort you put into them, and right? Okay, it's
true.
You learn things, right? You can teach yourself to cook. So the related thoughts I have two. Let's see which one's the one to start with. I'm going to start with this thought. I don't know that this is unique, but it's one that I agree with. So I probably heard it from someone before.
Sure.
But it's the thought that effort does not equal excellence.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Just because you try very hard at something doesn't mean that you are good at it.
Jake, what are you trying to tell me?
I'm not directing
I dig
anybody
it.
here in particular, right? And
that.
I'm not
I dig
saying
that.
that it's not a reason that it's a reason that you shouldn't continue to try to get better at that thing. But just because you try very hard at a thing does not mean that you should be acknowledged as being good at that thing.
Great take.
I dig it.
So this is the
Woohoo.
anybody know what Dunning-Kruger is?
No.
So it's the okay. It's
I'm
the
sure I've
fancy-
heard you
it's
say
the
it.
fancy. It's the fancy psychological concept. I think. Is that I don't know. Psychologist, whatever. It's the idea that like when
Philosophy?
you know very little about a thing, you're super confident about it, right? So like it's like I know this much about cars, so when people talk to me, I talk like I'm an expert because I know everything about cars. But then once you start to learn about that thing, what really happens is you realize how much shit you don't know.
Yeah.
Right? And then you spend the rest of your time learning about that thing, slowly getting more confident, but you will never be as confident in that thing as you were back when you were like first learning about it and felt like you knew absolutely everything about it. And as it directly relates to sometimes things that I work with, like singing is a perfect example of this. This is where the hot take territory comes in. Okay? So like I know I'm joking about being old or whatever, but I remember watching the first season of American Idol.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wow.
But like obviously TV does this for the sake of viewership, right? They're like, these people are terrible, but we're going to put them through to the final rounds with the judges just so that we can get Simon Cowell's reaction and how terrible this person is, right? But it's also true that happens like on the daily basis where like I'm going to call them church singers. I'm going to call them church singers, right? Where a lot of people are like, yes, you can really sing, blah, 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 blah. And like, okay, they're trying very hard to sing, and you should applaud that.
Yeah.
But let's objectively score this person. They're terrible.
I want to touch on that a little bit because there There are people. It's very true. Very true. I'm with you 100%. Taj is losing it because it's true. I also
There's
want to
other examples. It's not limited to just church singers.
I also want to touch on from the theater aspect when there's like kinds of relationships between the artist and the director, or like maybe just a spiritual mentor that you kind of look up to. So like let's say there's the the actor director relationship, and they sing okay, but the director whom they look up to and respect is like all in and like, oh, you're great. Let's feature you here. Let's feature you there. And their head gets full, and it's kind of like the parental kind of confidence slowly in the toxic way, where it's like the actor has no choice but to think they're hot shit when like they step away from that bubble of the parental relationship. They get in the real world and they get clowned on, and they don't understand why because of that. You know, so I feel like
Precisely.
that it helps that too.
So it's not even always 100% the fault of the person doing the thing.
Right.
It is often the fault of the people who have surrounded that person and blown smoke up their ass about it.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't applaud effort. You should, right? But the real feedback should be, hey, you've worked really hard on this, I can tell. You've got room for improvement. Here's what you can work on to get better, right? Instead of, oh gosh, you just sing that. Sing it, Billy. Here you go, man. Did you hear him sing? I said, Lord, he was just praising the Lord on Sunday. It was just crazy good. And then Billy gets up to sing the national anthem, and he's off key and can't keep time, or whatever, right? Okay, so now make it a guitar player, or make it a chef. Also true, right? Like 'cause that's what spurred it, was the cooking thing.
Interesting.
So like you can learn to do a thing better. But just trying hard at the thing doesn't mean you're good at it.
Amen.
And I think there's a lot of countless examples that show that.
Amen.
And it links into my second point, but I don't want to go there unless everybody's sure they're ready for me to.
Hot take is just that some people are delusional.
Yeah. This is our unit break
This
where
is-
we review and discuss, and then we're going to go into the next chapter in a little bit.
That was the perfect segue. So yes, say that again in a minute after they decompress. They said that.
Yeah, I remember
great.
me and Maddie went to this thing called Showtime at the Apollo. Or what? Not that show with Steve Harvey about kids and stuff.
Showtime at
But
the Apollo.
We were. It was this
tonight.
talent show that a couple of our mutual friends were in, and we wanted to go support them, right? And it's like one of those things where you win a trip to New York and perform for more people. It goes up there, but we were like, we show up. We're like, where's the judges? Have you guys heard of this stuff? This kind of format?
Have I heard of Showtime? at
Talent
the Apollo?
shows?
Yeah.
You're asking the black
Have you ever
guy
heard
if
of a show?
Has he heard of Showtime?
No,
at
I'm
the
just
Apollo?
okay. All right, because this is apparently a thing. The performers go up. There's a house band. They practice, they rehearse, all that jazz. They go and perform, and then the audience's applause or boos, and the audience is the judge. And by applause, if they literally can get booed off the stage. They're like, this is the most authentic form of a talent show, but. God, was it so rough being from an artist, seeing that and supporting that? It was rough.
This is my primary problem with karaoke, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And the person who won was like just really loud, right? They were just a really loud, churchy kind of singer. There's nothing wrong with it, but for talent to be recognized by that and to be applauded by that, this is why I have a gripe. I'm not going to get into this, but this is why I have a gripe with Oscars and the award seasons of stuff like that, because the artists are putting just as much effort, and some people I think are more talented than the people who won. But I guess a majority wins, and this and that.
Look, talent shows and contests, all that stuff is subjective, right? And like, as a child who took piano lessons and had piano concerts where I both was great and was less than great, people are still going to clap for you, right? Is the polite thing to do. That is a place, in my opinion, where you're acknowledging the effort this person has put in, right? But like, I, as a terrible piano player at the age of 9, shouldn't be told, you should sell tickets to a show.
Facts.
You're so good. people would come and see you. And then I get up there and can't play for Elise or whatever, right? So like there's a difference. I just there's a place to acknowledge effort, and I'm not saying that there isn't. But like
I dig it.
no again, it's on the part of the people who are around that person, but I think there needs to be some awareness from the person who it is too. Know thyself.
Yeah.
Right? It's like I'm learning as you back to that Dunning-Kruger thing, you find a virtuosic guitar player, there's a number of them, and ask them, rank yourself on the list of great guitar players of the world, and not a single one of them is going to be like, I'm at the top of the mountain.
Right.
That's true.
They all acknowledge there's places to go. Everybody's got things to learn, and it's an attitude rather than a, right? So, so it's all related kind of to the thing. You said something a minute ago. Do you remember what it was?
I said Jake's hot take is that some people are delusional.
That's right. So this is a direct link into my second hot take.
Put that on the front of your book. All right.
It's funny you mention a book.
People are delusional.
Oh no.
Are you writing a book?
I have not written a book, but
That's a hot take on it.
So people out there are going to be really
hot take. Books are
people
stupid.
out there are going to either be really angry about this
All
or
right,
not.
I'm ready.
No. So day job, I'm an educator, right? I taught first grade for 4 years and second grade for 9 years before I moved on into what I'm doing now for the school district I work for.
Upper echelon.
So I worked with young children, and I did my very best to have like these honest conversations with kids,
Right.
And even at that age, be like, hey, you can learn how to. You might not be great at math right now, but you can. Taj, that's hilarious, right? Like talking about the importance of learning, a learning mindset, right? Yeah. I did not have the following conversation with these kids, but working in education has made me want to write a children's book.
Oh, you all suck. Wake up.
The working title of this children's book is "You Can't Always Be What You Want to Be."
Ooh.
That's gonna be a hard sell. For
Wait,
them.
you sure?
I can tell you.
You sure it's gonna be a children's book?
I don't know. I envision it as like a Dr. Seuss presentation-ish kind of thing, right?
Whoa.
But the underlying concept is...
I'm loving it.
The underlying concept is, right, if you want to be a thing, you've got to put in the work to be the thing. But you can't just say, I'm going to be an astronaut, and then not put in any legwork to become said astronaut, right? So, like, having a dream is great, but just because you want it to happen doesn't mean it is going to happen. You have to make it happen. And
That's true.
back to going to talk fast food again, because everything's a circle,
Yeah.
right?
It's a circle.
The world needs hamburger flippers.
Ah,
And
Amen.
it's okay if that's what you're going to be. Like, that's not a problem. I just want people to set realistic goals for themselves. If they want to be more than a hamburger flipper, I love that for you. You have to do something to make it happen.
Yeah.
But if you're like, you know what, welder is a super important job. God, it pays really well too. And if that's what you want to be, go for it. But like, you've got to put in practice to become that thing.
Yeah.
You're like, so you can't always be what you want to be. You have to put in the effort to get there. There, I see a reaction on
start
your face.
to
Go.
start with the
start welding.
with Jake's children's book. It's gonna be in the very happy town of Neeple. They lived some very tone deaf people. That's how it's gonna start.
Yes.
Someone pick it up.
Yes.
Uh,
Love that
But,
very much.
I didn't hear you, Taj, because I don't have headphones like the cool people. Can you say that again?
I was just saying, love that very much. The reason I started laughing when you started talking, and you were talking about the effort and all that whatnot, is so
names.
a few years, no names, of course. A few years ago, we were doing a show somewhere, and Jake was asked to step into a rehearsal as a musical consultant. So Jake steps in, we do the music and the rehearsal, all that whatnot, and we retreat to a place afterwards to discuss said things or whatever. And without going into full-blown detail, there was just
There was
conversation
There was
had.
someone who was overconfident
Someone-
in their delivery and was talking about it.
And so Jake, a man that is honest to a fault, the person was like, yeah, blah, 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 or whatever, and like said something slightly self-deprecating or whatever.
No,
but
no,
like,
what they said was something patently untrue.
oh,
oh man.
Jake. Jake was like, "Yeah, you were flat." That was Jake's immediate response. It was just so great.
There was
That
no
would
wiffle
never-
waffle about that. Huh?
Not a single wiffle or waffle about that entire thing at all, and I will never forget it. Jake was like, "Yeah, you were flat." But anyway, the rest of the music, it's like,
I mean, hey, that's necessary in the situation.
It goes back to the honest feedback, I think, right? You can be better. First, you need to acknowledge that you're not.
You gotta.
I'm not either. Like, I'm not sitting here saying I'm the best at everything. I'm definitely not. But like, the only way you get better is by people telling you there's things to work on, right? If you can't see them yourself, you need someone to tell you, hey, this is a thing you need to work on.
tell your friends they're flat.
There's this
That's
this entire episode was originally started for like the hot takes and stuff like that. But the truth of it and the moral of this episode that you need to pick up, some people deserve to be bullied. Some people bullying is okay.
Let's examine that statement.
All right, I'll
I
examine
have
it.
something to say when you take a break.
That's a
I'll
loaded
examine
statement.
it in Dr. Seuss terms.
I'm going to give you
Some
give
people-
you the benefit of doubt that bullied is a term for something you really mean other than bullied. So like tell me what you mean by that.
The world needs chicken deep fried. Some kids need to go home where they cried.
I'm lost right now.
That's I explained it in Dr. Seuss terms.
not what
Well,
signed up for.
the word explained is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence, and I'd like you to try again.
That's my statement of saying some people need to be bullied and the world needs deep fried
But
chickeners.
what do you mean by bully?
Chicken deep fryers.
Bully
No,
has a
All right,
lot
we'll
of
get
I'm
started. We'll
kidding.
start bullying Judson.
I'm used to it. Been 23 years, been bullied. You know what I'm saying? I've been used to it. I've been around that camel back and forth. But no, it's a very dramatic joke. You know, not bullying is not okay. There's
Hot
there's
take,
two.
bullying is bad.
Who would have thought? No, I'm kidding with like the straight up abuse on that end, but it's a very dramatic and an awful toxic way of saying that some people need to be humbled because they cannot do it themselves. Can I get an amen?
Humble's a fair word.
Humility is a good quality.
That's
Humility's a
exactly
good
right.
quality.
Stephanie, what were you
Stamp that
about to
shit,
say? I
Stephanie.
totally.
That I said
Dr.
I wanted
Seuss
to
you.
say
Yeah.
after we were on break.
On the break, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Off the
I
record.
mean, I can say it, but
Uh-oh.
I don't think you want to include it. I was just going to say, when you said some people need to be bullied, it made me think about how they just passed a law in Montana that allows people to actively misgender trans people in elementary schools.
No way.
So they like legalize bullying.
Yikes.
And that like a specific kind of bullying.
Yeah.
Ehole.
Oh no.
Not good.
So anyways,
Very not good.
Well, let me just pull up the laptop. Let's go back to the cut the camera.
that's why I said I'd say it off.
No, that's fine. God,
Let
what
these
is
hoes know.
what are
It's
people
fine.
A little
doing?
sad.
I'll just all I'll say is just be nice to people. When one person or organization fails at being nice to people, be maybe not nice but kind,
But bully them.
but bully. You're right.
Kind and rewarding.
Right, unless
So-
they deserve a bully. Like, yeah.
So some people really are saying like, no, kids do need to be bullied.
All right. Let's
That
all right.
was
Let's
what I
just
thought
say
of
throw
when you said
everything
that.
out,
Bully.
and let's just
Bullying is a problematic word. I think I agree with your concept.
People need to be
I'm not going
held
to put words in your
accountable.
mouth.
Ooh,
but like,
yeah.
because I this is from the person who was just saying give people feedback.
Yeah.
Right.
right.
But like, there's a way to do that in a caring and constructive way. More than just you were flat, but like we were having an honest conversation,
Yeah.
right? But like that's as close to bullying as I would be comfortable getting in providing
Well,
feedback.
that's not-
is
No,
like just
no.
saying something
That's
straightforward.
just not the same thing as bullying.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I
Also,
think
like,
there's
also
a
take my word
lack
with
of-
take my word with a grain of salt. I was totally kidding when I literally
I
do
didn't.
not
I didn't think you were serious.
like that's.
Hot take. Judson
I
is
was just
serious.
saying-
Hold on. Whoa.
I'm
Judson
Judson
is
and
a
I approve
bully.
of
No,
bullying.
bullying. That the definition, the word bullying is inherently bad, right? And especially when we're talking about a younger. I heard these two little goofballs. I'm trying to explain myself and make sure no one takes what I take. No one takes what I say seriously.
Really
Guys, be quiet or he's gonna get mad at us again.
he might bully
Channel's
us.
bully.
But
Before this podcast, he told me I was stupid and I smelled bad.
whoa, hey. Some people need.
Told me I'm
someone
just
need
here
to be
so
bullied.
that they don't get clocked for not having a woman.
Whoa, hey, whoa. Oh my gosh.
Be quiet, Tosh.
Oh my god.
I see you,
Tosh
Tosh.
wants to say
I
something
see
so
you
bad.
winding up over there.
Tosh sent me a whole paragraph. When he pulled up, he sent me an entire paragraph.
To be fair, I'm going to apologize for that now because I am the idiot. None of those things were
paragraph
true.
did you say?
I am just foolish. Just
What did
foolish.
you
And
say?
something that was dumb because it was unwarranted because I'm dumb and just misunderstood.
So let's just say
No, not even a hot take. It was just stupid.
I just apologize for not
ignorance.
bringing out the red carpet to the
Yeah.
studio for him
It,
today.
yeah, it
That's-
was, and there was no fault of his. The fault is on me being a
Our
dumbass.
stars.
Yeah.
Tosh sent a
Oh,
paragraph
okay,
about
sorry.
why Subway is superior to Taco Bell.
He's a,
Woof.
Taj
Don't
would never
you-
say that.
Taj
He
would never
said-
say that because I'm a Jersey Mike's boy through.
yeah,
and
actually,
through.
it's Jersey Mike's is superior
Subway.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Jersey Mike's is a superior sandwich shop. I'll say that.
I mean, if we're talking
Subway.
sub shop rankings, then Firehouse has got to be
Yeah.
better than
Firehouse
all
is
of those.
Firehouse.
Taj just sent me another paragraph about why I should never bring up Taco Bell on this podcast ever
Taco Bell is really good.
again.
if
or
you're drunk.
ices and snow cones.
You know what's funny?
That's
As
a
much
hot
as
take.
as much as I love Taco Bell, have never had Taco Bell drunk.
Really? I've
Yeah.
had it more when I'm
I heard.
As do
it
many
was-
people.
I heard it was more of a stoner thing.
Also true. It is very,
I
very
would
much
know.
a
1 a.m. stoner.
Yeah,
thing.
very much
I
a
have
stoner thing
never
'cause the
been
tacos.
drunk. Kidding. I've been drunk.
Okay, I was
Oh.
like,
okay.
nonsense.
Kidding. I've definitely been drunk.
Yeah, and I guess part of that is because like I've only ever really been drunk like twice in my life, so like
I mean, I'm
I
not
just
like
never been-
a rager.
no,
but
of course not. No,
the
I
few
know
times that I've
yeah.
been drunk, the people I'm with, it's like, so
Taco
Taco Bell now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is that the only way that you'll?
No, I'll eat it sometimes, and I ate it more as a kid, but I don't love it.
I'm an
All
adult
those times
now.
you were
I don't
drunk
eat
as a kid.
But the
bullshit.
Frito,
Drunk
the
as a
Frito
kid.
burrito, whenever you're several shots in,
We
which
love
they
it.
took that off the menu, and ever
Yeah.
since they took the Frito burrito off the menu, I've been
Jerks.
mad.
Yeah. I only like the, and like is a strong word for Taco Bell. The
Yeah, that's fair.
Doritos Locos Tacos.
Bang bang. Yeah,
That's
those are great.
Like
I've never tried the Baja Blast.
All right, and that's been another episode of That's
What-
Stephanie's hot take. Baja
What,
Blast,
what's a
overrated.
Baja Blast?
the Bay J Blaze.
I refuse to believe that you don't know Baja Blast.
You just-
I've never had one.
Never having it makes sense, and I can see people,
but just not
having
knowing it.
But just blatantly
Look,
not knowing,
my-
it's like
my-
really.
I have stopped tracking the development at food restaurants. Although there is, I don't want to buzz market another podcast, but I do listen to another podcast that has a segment
Wow.
on it that talks about innovations in the fast food market in a really funny way. But I don't actively track innovations. The last thing I remember happening at Taco Bell, so like you mentioned the Doritos taco or whatever. Like the last one that I really remember was when Taco Bell introduced the chalupa.
Ha! That's
Good times.
funny. Ooh,
And that was like
dating yourself.
95 or 96.
Ooh,
Oh,
woof.
Did they have Cheez-Its back then too in cold water?
I don't, not the extra toasty cheeses.
so they must have published
Not
that
much
in the
toasties,
paper,
no.
right? Because there's no.
That's right. Back in my day, when Taco Bell released a new taco, they had to send it out on the telegram.
Whoa. Now the chalupa.
Telegram about the chalupa. Taco Bell. I want
On the way there, we listened to our favorite songs on Laserdisc.
I have a
Not
few more
Laserdisc.
like of the about the hot takes thing.
Inflammatory
Because I
things.
was originally like, let's just like get off of it completely. We were right after the break, we were talking about the educators and the mentors and stuff like that being toxic. Like that's real stuff. And I'm like, God, the fact that I have to go back to these stupid little icebreaker hot.
But he's going to do it
hot
anyway.
takes.
That's what he's circling around.
Because these two I'm really passionate about.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, you should
That's
be.
where the passion lies. Go.
Can you sleep with socks on?
Yeah.
All the time.
So, okay, you guys answered first, so you guys have to go first.
Oh my
I
God.
went through a phase where I always wore fluffy socks when I slept.
I dig fluffy. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the summer.
I dig the specification.
I don't remember the season specifically. I was younger. Now I don't usually, but I can.
Question: Are you from here or the South in general?
I'm from Arkansas, so the South.
So the South for sure. Definitely the South for sure.
We're back to context. So I don't actively put them on to go to sleep, but
Right.
there are times when I sleep with them and they do not keep me awake by having socks on.
Okay.
But like, if it is, I am a hot sleeper by nature.
Felt.
So like, middle of the winter, I'm sleeping with like one relatively thin blanket, all limbs splayed out, trying to cool off.
Starfish mode.
While my wife is under 127 comforters,
Right.
and then complains about being cold still.
Right. Right.
But I also like, not to go TMI, but like, I'm clothed when I go to sleep. I know some people are like, nope, not me, but like,
Right, yeah.
I'm wearing the full like,
Regalia.
picture Scrooge sleeping gown, pajamas. Like I'm in
the nightcap.
I'm in bed clothes, you know,
I
or whatever.
love it.
So
Yeah.
That very
I know
much.
people are different like that, but like socks do not keep me awake. No.
I recently fell asleep with a shirt on and woke up with it off.
Whoa.
And that was
Were you-
really
did you-
bizarre.
Did
Yeah,
you
that's
have
alarming.
some alcohol and Taco Bell next to you
Didn't.
when you
I
woke
was
up?
sober.
Not alcohol and
I don't know what was happening, but I was like, I thought I fell asleep with a
In a
shirt
twist,
on.
it was also ironed and hung on a hanger.
Oh, how sweet! A little,
The tag was back on it.
that little sleep maid. She got to clean up when she's asleep.
Love
My
it.
All right,
sleep
Tosh.
paralysis demon.
I think for me, I don't think that it's asinine to sleep with them on. I think for me, what it is there is few small things in life that you can enjoy more than taking socks off while you are in bed, because I would liken it to flipping the pillow to the other side, as far as just the chef's kiss. And it's a little thing, but like Jesse Eisenberg said in Zombieland, enjoy the little things, because that's one of the important rules. And that
Yes,
is
the
just a
cul-
little
the
thing
cultural
that
touchstone,
cannot be
Zombieland.
ignored.
Why is Jesse Eisenberg someone you quoted?
Because it's Zombieland. It's not him that I'm quoting. I'm quoting the movie Zombieland.
Oh, you don't have
which
to
is
name drop
my
him,
fa-
is the thing.
Because that's what he
You
said.
could just say one of the greatest movies of all time, Zombieland.
Well, that's not what I said. I just
right.
said that Jesse Eisenberg said it in this movie. And
Well,
and
you
his
said
character
Jesse-
didn't have a name because they were all named after the cities. Or the
But you
states
like
they were
taking
trying to go
socks
to.
off while you're in bed. So I always
Yeah.
want to picture that, like, in your ideal sleeping world,
Mm-hmm.
if you had your way every night, you would go to bed with socks on,
Mm-hmm.
spend 20 or 30 minutes trying to get to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
realize that you can't because your feet are uncomfortable, just to get to the 30-second payoff of, I'm taking off these socks. Why don't you just take them off from the get-go?
When did
Because-
you say he doesn't?
Right, yeah. Well, the thing is, as someone with undiagnosed insomnia, I take every little thing that I can use to get me comfortable to go to sleep. And that's one of those things that it's like, I can look forward to that, and perhaps that will assist me in getting to Dreamland, because getting to
revisit the
Dreamland
drinking
is
thing.
the struggle.
Gotcha. hmm
Wow.
But I don't necessarily, I mean,
Let me ask you this question. Feel free to answer it or not. Would the experience be bolstered by going to bed as clothed as possible and then just slowly disrobing one garment at a time
Like strip poker. But
while in bed? So like laying down in your full snowsuit and parka, layers, socks, boots. Be like, man, I can't get to sleep. I'm going to take off this parka. Oh, gosh, it feels better. Nope, still too hot. Snow pants come on. Oh,
Yeah. Stripping for yourself.
Still too hot. I better let me take off this scarf. Oh god! Until you finally get down to socks.
socks are last to
that would
go.
be, socks definitely.
Socks don't go.
Socks last to go, for sure. And I don't sleep full regalia as far as like the PJs and stuff like that, but I do sleep with clothes on, and socks just be one of those things
I
that I
think
just
the more
happen to get
interesting
into
question
bed
is
with
who
on.
sleeps in socks and nothing else.
That's what, yeah.
That's a quote
Psychos.
from iCarly.
Yeah.
Oh, not
Psychos
Freddie.
do that.
I was traumatized by that line. I really was. You just brought up like a core memory, and that. I'm not even gonna get to that.
My oldest.
I feel so heard, you know, because I'm like, I was always the odd one out in the family and the friends and everyone, you know. Who would have thought, right? And I could have sworn. I'm just stronger than most people because I can sleep with socks on. And, you know, there's actually some kind of comfort. And also, I have this thing where sometimes I wake up because I feel everything is fine except my feet are really cold. And that's like so painful. So I'm just so blessed with the power to be able to sleep with that, because that would have been a travesty. And and there's a lot of people, maybe it's just my social circle, I guess. Maybe this is not even, everyone else hearing is like, yeah, why wouldn't you? But I just, in my little bubble, it just feels like that was such sacrilege. I'm like, well, how
The
can
question
you?
is, can you sleep with socks on?
Yes.
Or do you prefer to sleep with socks on?
No, I don't. I can sleep with socks on, and like I said, there are times where I really enjoy it, especially when wintertime comes along, obviously. But I don't look forward to. I can't wait to cuddle in and twinkle my little toes on my little sockies, you know. So it's not something I seek out. It's more of like a pride thing of, yeah, I can if I wanted to. You know what I mean?
Didn't we just talk about humility? Judson?
Bully me, please.
Judson, you're so terrible at podcasting. Yeah, well, I can sleep with my socks on.
Exactly.
I
Right, and I can eat mac and cheese with chocolate milk. So suck on that. Yeah. So there's just some, there's a little when you get bullied so often, and when you're in the
bullied again.
when you're in the
Playing
lower
the victim.
I know when
Change
you
your
get
name to my
constantly
phone.
bullied and you can't catch a break. There's one of the few things that you got to cling on to, and that one of those things.
Klingon. Jake knows Klingon.
One of those things is actually being able to sleep with my socks on.
That was a Star Trek joke, Taj, and I
was-
love you for making it.
I did the little thing,
Yeah, but that's Vulcan, not Klingon.
but it's Star Trek. It's all the same.
I've never watched
Okay,
Star Trek?
We're about to have
Imagine.
a real conversation. When you want to talk about being bullied, just gear yourself up.
Little Star Trek. Here I am with my little big old pointy ears, and I'm gonna go to space
Whoa,
and hit you with
whoa,
the
whoa,
taser
whoa.
laser.
This is a separate topic, which we could
Don't
have a whole
disrespect
podcast
Star
about.
Trek. Mhm.
So we don't need to get onto it now. But I would love to come back and talk to you about the cultural significance of not only Star Trek, but name a fantasy series in general, name sci-fi or fantasy series, and what they actually mean to people.
Yeah.
So like that's a topic we could talk about, and I'd be happy to elaborate on. But I'm going to save it for later.
That is
Yeah,
a
I
sexy
would just-
topic. I like that.
I know you do. I'm just saying.
good one.
Say what you want.
And I'm
Star
not a
Wars.
Trekkie.
Star Trek, Star Wars.
Star
That's
Wars
a
is-
topic that's been
Star
talked
Wars is
about, but
superior.
I think it could
I've
be
never
done
really
again.
watched either.
Sneaking high five.
okay.
Sneaking high
Thank
five.
you. Y'all didn't see that. Y'all didn't see that. All right.
Judson just
That's only 'cause I didn't
physically
watch.
abused a podcast.
No, it was a high five. What did you think it was? Roll the clip back. Roll the clip back.
I thought you slapped him.
I love it.
No, absolutely not. No.
That is very funny.
What was your last question, Judson?
My last question was, what celebrity? Oh, sorry. I thought we were about to go on the whole thing. My last question is, which celebrity? And this could be like anyone of name. It doesn't have to be Hollywood. It could be like a YouTuber, content creator of sorts, or whatever.
Local
As long as
celebrity.
it's like a household name, as long as they're popular enough, okay, that you want to punch, or maybe
gosh.
or slap, or maybe bully, or someone that needs to get humbled. And punch is like the kind of go-to term because America knows violence very well. So, dude, where did Taj go?
Right here.
You
I'm
just
just
turned
very
your back
curious
to
in
me.
the answers.
Oh, okay.
I'm quite curious.
He was wait. Who are you looking down?
Just because Stephanie is a very, very nice person, so it's like
Absolutely.
whoever she wants to
Yeah.
to punch or slap deserves that shit most likely. And so I'm just like,
Right.
One of
Let's
the
settle
first
in.
names that come to mind is Andrew Tate.
woo,
Wow.
woo, beat his ass.
Yeah,
yes.
tell him.
Yeah.
I
I'll
feel
let
like
you have
that's
all of that.
self-explanatory for why he should get punched.
Motherfucking bingo. I just knew that was gonna be great. Oh gosh, just
Oh, Jake is frowning.
Just
He's got
sounds-
that Jake French frown.
Are you gonna contradict my statement?
Jake doesn't know celebrities. He doesn't pick celebrities. They're not
the
favorites.
Jake French frown.
It
As apparently I have.
depends.
So I have the Jake French frown and the Jake French foot tapping. Apparently.
Well, yeah, the foot.
Do you
tap
have-
is
No,
real.
sorry. So I do wear my heart. Jeremy once called me the loudest thinker in the room,
Love that.
which I have
That's funny.
owned and acknowledged for a long time. I just can't hide my facial expressions sometimes. So I'm trying not to waffle because we don't want to like couch anything here.
Taj, don't
But
look
like,
at me.
first I'm going to preface by saying I don't prefer violence as a solution in almost any situation. So like, who do you want to punch? I don't know that that's like an answer.
No,
I really
it's
want
not.
to.
Now you're making me look bad that I
I
have
also
to
don't know.
answer.
I'm not. I'm explaining my.
Stefan
I'm
just had
explaining
one
my
in the
facial
chamber, you
expressions. If
bully.
anything, you're playing by the rules better than I am.
Yeah, we don't endorse violence by any means. It's just the hypothetical of like if you know.
But also, like, I don't like. So I was like, okay, so stop wiffle wobbling about it and pick somebody. And then my top answer was going to be somebody who I think is actually mentally ill, and I'm not sure that's an appropriate
my.
response.
Judson Clark.
I know where he's going.
Oh, I might know.
So and then the other person I so my first answer was going to be Kanye West.
Yeah, that's what I figured when he said that.
Um,
He's definitely
followed
been
close
problematic.
by if I thought it would make any difference, Donald J. Trump. But
He was up there for me.
But I don't think it would make any difference. So
I don't think any of these people it would make a difference.
No, it's the hypothetical is literally like if you were in a room together, there would be no consequence and kind of like a cathartic like release, whether it's kind of like bullying, telling them like it is, slapping them, punching it, like.
So I think the reason I went with, I don't want to go into it too much because I don't know what Taj was going to say, but when he said when he said I have a feeling I know what Jake's going to say. I think we've talked about it before. But like, I think I have a problem with him more than the orange orangutan because I actually think he has farther reach. I think more people care about what he says and does, and but I'm not sure that. I mean, I personally, I'm not a trained psychiatrist, but I honestly think there's more going on than like just
absolutely
just strong opinion. So I don't know, but that's why I chose that answer.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, like 100%. Andrew Tate getting his platform booming, really popular, and the saddest thing, people looking up, impressionable people, namely guys, looking up to someone spewing hate like that.
Wait, are you suggesting that men are dicks?
I'm not saying anything.
Hot take. Yeah,
that's not so hot.
Lukewarm at best. Lukewarm at best. Maybe even
and
what? No, what were you talking about?
And I think that's
especially white men,
right? Yeah, exactly. Or orange. I think it's just like when someone has a platform and they know they have a say and what like their voice matters, and what you choose to do with that is a very dangerous thing.
Joe Rogan.
And there's a song by the Flaming Lips that I absolutely adore. It's not a really cool title, I will admit, the Yeah 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 song, but the whole song describes getting exactly what you want. If you had the power to do exactly what you want and get exactly what you want, that's way too dangerous. Like the actual literacy of like winning the lottery. You say, oh, I'll be better and I'll be better than the rest and do this and that. If you had a platform, I'll, spew love and do world peace and stuff like that. But actually getting that is a completely different thing than looking at the hypotheticals and stuff. Amen. So yeah, it's a very dangerous thing with these people having platforms, knowing they have platforms, knowing they have a say, and then doing that. Even if it's just, some specific people have gotten flack for what they say on Twitter. And there's an argument against it saying, but that's Twitter. Right? That's just freedom of speech. But that's different when it comes to people who, what they say, people are listening to what people say. And they look up to those people. So they say sticks and stones don't break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Yes, they do. Cap. That's an outrageous lie. So
big old cap.
Yeah. So I agree 100% with you guys. Go ahead.
Do you know Tim Minchin?
No.
Comedian Tim Minchin.
No.
You should look him up. He's fun. Yeah. Well, like one of the lines in one of his songs is "Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can break hearts."
Yeah.
Just true.
Yeah. It's absolutely
Let's finish your thoughts. Sorry, I'm just.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Text that to me because I'll definitely look him up. I've been looking for
that guy. Yeah.
I've been looking up for stand-up comedians, anyways. But
that guy's funny.
Yeah, it's just. And that's kind of like why I have, it's not like a list I type out and I'm like, God, I wish I could meet this person so I could just, boom, clock him in the face. It's never like that, like I said about the hypothetical. And recency bias, because of course I agree, those guys would be on my hypothetical list. But out of recency bias, I would say James Cameron. And of course, your guys are much more serious and deserve a bigger kind of punch and slap and stuff.
What did I miss about James Cameron? Is it just because the movie was terrible? Or
No. It's that.
James Cameron.
Do what?
Let him cook.
James Cameron is the
Famed
director. He's the director of Titanic. He's the director of the Avatar movies.
For those listening in audio, Taj just had a heart attack visually.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm ignorant. What can I say?
No, nothing wrong with you not knowing who it is because F that guy.
It's just I don't hate his movies. Okay,
what did I miss? Why are we F that guy?
Because
let him cook.
Let him cook. Because after it was right when he announced Avatar's gonna be a 5-part series.
What?
Just the
Avatar's five movies.
Because we need 50 hours worth of Okay, go ahead.
The same story. 50. And granted, like I think I've said in a previous episode, I enjoyed wasn't a fan of 1. I enjoy 2, it's a spectacle, but I haven't thought about it the next day. Right? It's fun, popcorn, blah blah blah.
Hot take. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
see.
Just just the visuals, the technical marvel, but that's it. Right? Anyways, but that's
Right.
quick synopsis. But the fact that he knows he's got a lot of money from Titanic, he's got a lot of money from Avatar, and there are people saying that it's the best movie ever. There's a lot of people saying that. Sure, cool, whatever. But he goes on Twitter, he says in interviews, lately, right after 2 released, he's like, just showed the people, just went to a conference room. Quote me if I'm quoting it wrong. Well, not quote me, but like correct me if I'm wrong. But he's like, just showed the script of Avatar 4 to the writers. They had no notes for me, and they said, "Holy shit!" was all the note they had. And I'm like, all right, let's relax. Let's pump the brakes. Same energy as Dwayne Johnson going to public saying the hierarchy of power has shifted. Same energy as Jaden Smith going, all the kids around me want to go, let me talk about the social economic state of the world.
Right
Shut up! Shut up!
We're right back into effort doesn't equal excellence.
Exactly. And so,
Boy, say it loud.
you know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't want to, I'm not
Neither
trying to
does a
say,
platform.
I'm not trying to say take people's freedom of speech. I'm just saying, like,
Sometimes shut up.
do the shit. You know what I mean?
Sometimes shut up.
And I'm an artist, and I cannot stand it when people say, you don't exist outside of the movie you watch. You know, because you know how artists speak out for rights and stuff like that, and they as they should. Stand-up comedians do their thing. You know, they have a voice. They have a voice, sure, but when that voice is arrogant and self-absorbed and just because you can and like that's saying that is not going to sell tickets. All right, people are going to see it anyways. People are going to see your entire 5 movies. You already got that. You already know you got that. Can you be kind? Can you be a decent human? So, like I said before, your guys's are much more valid than mine. It's more of a recency bias, but it's kind of like just itching at my brain recently because of what he's been saying. So, Taj, who are you punching?
He'd get a punch to the kneecap for sure.
Why are you pointing at me?
No, not he. He isn't the person that you
he
said.
celebrities.
You know,
Sorry.
don't get
Hilarious.
yourself.
James Cameron would get a kneecap punch. Also, someone that I think is similar to that light. And 2 guys. The real person I will start by saying is the name is I just looked it up. Ben Ramsey, because he's the screenwriter for the movie known as Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh,
and he deserves the most non-violent ass beating anyone's ever received for writing that damn movie.
Did you say
because
did you say the biggest non-violent ass?
the
Non-violent
most
ass-
non-violent ass whooping.
That insinuates one other thing.
Can you demonstrate? Can you demonstrate that?
I
in front of the-
cannot, and I don't even know what that means. But like, I don't wish actual harm on that man. I just wish that every time he goes to the bathroom, there's no toilet paper in public restrooms that he goes to for the inconvenience of it. Because how dare you? But the other person, like similar to James Cameron, because James Cameron needs one of those, is freaking. I don't even necessarily hate his movies, but because I'm a stan for the MCU, people of that magnitude that right, I know. Anyone of that magnitude that talks shisa about it deserves a little slappity slap. So Cameron's one of them. The other person is Martin Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino. Both of them can get a lot of those or whatever. Because Scorsese said that bullshit. And I repeat bullshit about, the MCU isn't cinema because it's not a fucking mob movie where people are shooting each other in the back of the head. Go fuck yourself. And Tarantino took a shot at the directors because he said something about, I don't remember exactly what his quote was, but his quote was also bullshit. And it's just like, don't you disrespect Ryan Coogler and the Russo brothers and Peyton Reed and all those great people like that. And Jon Favreau and all those amazing people that have directed this fantastic franchise. Go fuck yourself. And I shit like that and it's fine to not love the MCU or to not even like it. I have no problem with that. My issue is don't get off of your high horse because you've made some great movies and all 3 of those guys have made fantastic films and films that will be remembered and all that bullshit. But like, you guys aren't the only people that have made great and memorable movies or franchises and all that whatnot. Other people have too. So like this audacity to point your nose down at the MCU and things of that nature and things in that realm or whatever just is is just such garbage. And like, so like when people like not Scorsese, like Cameron say dumb shit like, well, I think superheroes are overrated. It's gonna die off soon. And it's like, and then they drop like 5 more $1 billion movies. Shut the fuck up. Shut up because you were wrong.
Did Nolan say? I feel like he said something.
I don't know, but Nolan made the movies, so like I'm not really tripping.
Yeah.
I nothing has came across my radar.
I know
that
he talked about
said
like
them, but I'm sure he's probably said sideways stuff because he makes movies that just happen to have comic book people in them, but they're real movies and all that bullshit. And it's just like, I don't care about that because that's not what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
I want to see the superheroes. I don't give a damn that you're trying to make the Joker like fucking Todd Phillips, whatever that guy's name is. I don't care.
All right, let's pump the brakes. Let's relax. We're not getting to the Joker. Yeah. The world's not ready for that. And it's a pretty good film. But I know Nolan was talking about. So no, I'm going. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you, Jake. I haven't forgotten about you, dog. But I know Nolan was talking about the COVID thing, bringing everything back to cinema, and streaming is going to kill cinema and stuff like that. But I don't know if he said anything about that.
Oh yeah, that I think I've heard. I've vaguely heard that. Yeah, but like nothing came across my specific timeline about Nolan saying anything. But like I said, I mean, I wouldn't imagine even if he did. Like his opinion is different to me because he's someone that has actually done 3 superhero films, whereas like Scorsese and Tarantino and Cameron make other things, and so it's just like, shut up. I'm sorry that these movies are also doing numbers in the box office and they're good movies. Like you don't have to love them, and that's fine. No one has to love them. But like, what you cannot argue with is the overall success of them, regardless of whether or not you personally enjoy the movies or you don't, or you think the market has oversaturated them, or whatever, and all that whatnot. Because I'm not even. That's not my argument. My argument is get off your high horse because it's not just mob movies and movies that love to say the N-word that can blow up the box office and be considered great movies.
Judson, do you have joy in your heart?
Nope, absolutely not. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a great time today. We were so glad you guys joined us. Thank you for everyone who made this possible. And that's it.